welcome back, listeners, to the BizBlend podcast, where business meets purpose and heart meets hustle. I'm your host, Sana, and here we dive into bold ideas, behind the scenes realities, and then the resilience it takes to lead in the uncertain times. Now, listeners, today I am honored to welcome Oleksandr Buratynskyi, a tech leader, systems coach, and the powerhouse founder of T-Travel, a travel app born in the midst of a war zone, bootstrapped to 37,000 plus users with zero external funding. That is awesome, Alexander. That is awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
So, from climbing the tech ladder, listeners, for over a decade to now writing his second book, which is Systemic Adaptiveness, Alexander brings a rare, honest perspective on navigating the chaos, redefining leadership, and then building solutions that thrive in complexity. So, let's unpack what it truly means to adapt, not just survive, when everything around you changes. So, with that, Alexander, welcome to the show, and it is an honor to have you with us.
Yeah. Once again, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks, Sana.
Ah, So, um, Oleg, let's start at the ground zero. What sparked the idea within you for tea travel, and how did launching it during a full scale invasion? Um, how did it work? I mean, how did it shape your approach to risk and then innovation?
Yeah, it's a very interesting story because me and my co-founder Artem, you know, we did a lot of creative projects as we were kids, and we were filming some movies, actually, like some short movies, and doing some advertisements. So we were proficient in the content in a time when, you know, everyone was just uh, just regular people on YouTube, and not so many creators were there. But we were creating the content, and we did our own travel vlog that is called hashtag BezViz. It means hashtag without visas. We were traveling the world and filming stuff around, with all our equipment, with all our passion, and putting it there on YouTube. And we started to receive a lot of questions, where to go, how to go, uh, what's the budget, what the best place to be, what's like where there are hidden gems that you can uncover for us. And we were, answering these questions, and at the same time thinking about, like, why should we give this precious content and precious advices for free, because there are many creators who struggle to monetize their content, and make it their own hustle and profession, like in the touristic field. In the same time, I was already working in IT as a coach, as a QA manager, and I had few hackathons that I won with random people, but like I won hackathons like internal for companies and external that were uh, with cash prizes. So in the same time, I was like, why we are not doing technical solution for people, because it isn't there. And maybe we should kind of combine content, like high quality content, and technical solution that will be in the pockets or of every active tourist. So we merged that, and we started to develop our first prototypes, and it was during COVID. Actually, it was another crisis because tourist kind of world tourism went down. Yeah,
Okay.
it was insane what was happening, but in the same time we discovered that we needed to adapt, and we discovered that domestic travel is kind of boosted up by the COVID circumstances, at least in Ukraine. And like we started to sell actually the our itineraries, our product, and demand was huge. Like people wanted to uncover their own country, to like uh, or just to went and wind off on some of the tourist spot. So that was the first moment we understood that product is needed, product is wanted, um, and like more uh, technical form should be there. So
Mhm.
we developed our first mobile solution and made a film about Ukraine and launched it in the cinema theaters here. So in the same time, our T-Travel app was kind of promoted by this a movie. So we started to gain an audience, and then full-scale invasion come in. So then Russia started to attack Ukraine, and of course we needed like 3 4 months to understand what we should do, because we were just surviving, volunteering, and doing our best to keep our relatives, our beloved ones safe. So we didn't think about, our solution at that time, but like when we understood that we are doing our best and we can uncover like secrets of Ukraine, and our solution for the foreigners who started to ask about more about what is happening, what's like what is Ukraine, right? What is like how does it look like even, and what kind of country it is. So we scaled on 4 languages like English, Italian, German, and of course Ukrainian. It uh, allowed us to mm, kind of like present our solution on world arena, and in the same time a lot of people who flee from war, they appeared in a situation in Europe where they cannot even earn money like in easy way, and they needed a solution to uh, easily like without integrating it into society, kind of pay their for their survival. And like our communities all around the world started to use T-Travel to sell their own products to our platform, and we adapt for them. We started to reaching them to um, uh, discuss the opportunities, and from that point we start to be a global startup.
Mm. That is quite a journey, and of course, that too, in the context of a global event,
Yeah.
um, and then a lot of pivots. So it does it definitely does I think give us a very important takeaway to be nimble in
Mm,
face, whether it's a personal um, situation, or maybe a nationwide situation, or even a global event
yeah.
first for entrepreneurs and founders. So thank you so much, Oleg, for sharing your journey, and of course, the creation, the journey of tea travel. So you went from being a QA tester to the system coach before launching your startup. So
Yeah.
how did your background in systems thinking influence how you structured tea travel, or maybe how you adapted the structure of tea travel to the prevailing conditions or situations?
Yeah, it's a very good question, because like uh my previous experience, I worked in the startups, like an American one, in European startups and enterprises. I was working for a fintech, like with 40,000 people all around the world, in London, for example, and um, I've returned to Ukraine to work on AI, for retailers. So I had a lot of experience, how to structure the company, what should be a proper culture, what should be like the instruments, like what kind of instruments we should use. And as you said, it's a proper word. We should be nimble and we should be agile in all of the ways. So we didn't the main rule, we didn't overcomplicate our processes at the first place, at the first moment, I would say. And like each of the stages, like first we started small with just three people, three co-founders, and one of the co-founders was that helped a lot. He was in Europe. He wasn't in Ukraine, so we
Mhm.
started to be like a hybrid company, with like early on, just even before COVID, we decided that we will be remote first, and we'll give many opportunities to the people who want to work remote, to just work on the startup. So it helped us a lot in many situations, in situations where me and my co-founder wasn't able to work, for example, in Kiev, because it was we didn't have even the connection to internet, or just light at our houses. So we in the same time we looked for people who are there, like in Italy, for example, in England or in Romania, for the creators who are available to travel around the world, who are
Yeah.
available to build some itineraries. So uh, communication was straightforward. We used it like just the messengers, and our kind of ownership, the responsibilities were was in Excel sheet. For sometimes we used Trello, for example, like for our tasks, to not forget what we were talking about, and it's just free instruments that are easy to use. And the main focus was on the communication, right? If like I have my own rule when I'm recruiting the people, when I'm hiring the people, I'm saying, okay, uh, you cannot do like nothing wrong in a startup. Like you can try and then maybe fail. But if you're transparent and if you're honest about this, if you communicate about this, you did nothing wrong. So we will not fire you anyway. So, but if you're sitting somewhere at your, I would say, cave without communication and kind of struggling to do your own tasks, and not saying that something goes wrong, something isn't right, that is a red flag for us. So because we are remote first company, we communicate only through chats, through video calls, and we need to understand what is happening. That is like kind of a point of control, but
Mhm.
for me, it's a point of transparency. Yeah, and that is obligatory for us. So yeah, we use like very lightweight instruments, and our kind of milestone or cornerstone is being transparent. Yes.
Oh, really, really inspiring and I would say bold, because uh, many founders they build startups around products, but it definitely seems to me what I have learned is you have built this around principles.
Yeah,
So
principles and culture. Yes, that's correct. Because even startup can be changed. Like maybe idea that we were mm, kind of investing in, maybe at some time, at some point, will be deprecated, right? Each product have its own ups and downs, and for example, with a lot of AI copilots and solutions right now, world is changing. But when we have like strong team who trust each other, we can adapt. We can be agile, like in all of the ways.
that is absolutely right. Absolutely right. That is the most basic, uh, I think, fundamental or the basic pillar of
Mhm.
a strong business, whether it's a startup or even a big, you know, and a large enterprise or an
Yeah,
organization.
yeah.
They okay, now talking about your upcoming book, Systemic Adaptiveness.
Mm.
So you draw lessons from the conflict in Ukraine. So any powerful or maybe more than one powerful idea that from that work that business leaders might apply right now.
So we already we already with you kind of touched base on the main thing, and the first thing that I mentioned in my book is communication. Actually, I have a lot of the things to actually to uncover, because even volunteering phenomena in Ukraine, it was all about the very fast and very open communication. So imagine one thing, and the idea that you were asking for is that like manager sees the
Mhm.
situation, sees the crisis, but will not come to own teams and will not say that, okay, we are now struggling, the situation is bad, the our numbers, for example, or our metrics are going down. We have competitor that is launched on the market and have more resources. So imagine this situation. This like information is hidden. How others can be mobilized without that? So it's like people will be just sitting, just doing their tasks. As I said, like put them on the columns to done to test, but they will never uh, uh, take action and will never propose their own creative ideas and creative solutions because they just doesn't know what is happening. So the bold statement is be honest with your teams, with your peers, because in a situation of crisis, mm, like the lesson from Ukraine that we were seeing, that people want to help, people want to be involved, people want to be like they want their own integrity in business. And when they understand the situation correctly, with numbers, with like revenue is falling, with competitors are on the market, they provide very creative solutions, and they even turn into like big and active like organism, like a system that can beat even more powerful nemesis, I would say, like a more powerful evil.
100%, 100% right, Oleg. Okay, and this is really my favorite question. Um, in the startup um world, we often talk about funding and then creating pitch decks, pitching ideas, B plans to investors. But you bootstrapped T travel. that too in midst of a war zone to 37,000 plus users
Yeah.
without any external funding. I mean, if you can share one or maybe more than one, you know, what exactly worked out for you? Or is there any secret sauce behind how companies or startups can still mindfully manage their financial aspect and work on keep going on with bootstrapped, or is it like an option, or maybe funding is absolutely necessary? I mean, what's your
Mhm.
opinion on?
That's an interesting question because I think about it a lot, and as you said, after many, pitching competitions, I've seen a lot of grant programs. I've seen a lot of investors, and uh, like maybe like the main thing is, okay, we need money, but what else? This um uh, kind of agreement, or what else it can bring us except of
Mhm.
money. So because like in many situations when I work in enterprises, we saw like some problem, some bigger crisis, and when we talk about the situation, uh, like old school managers were saying, We need to hire a person, for example, or we need to spend more money on this." And I was always saying, okay, but if we don't have money, if we have this limitation, if we will not put this vacancies on the market and will not hire the person, how else can we solve this issue? And in the same moment, on the same meeting, we discovered 3 to 5 great ideas that will automate, for example, routines, and will uh, give us opportunity to work on creative tasks but automate the routines, for example. So the people are creative on their basis, but when they don't have limitations, they tend to think, oh, we need more money, and it's the easy answer. So uh, we were always thinking, okay, like we have this limitation with money. If we will kind of introduce or partner with some investor, they will ask of us like even more growth, even faster growth. Uh, but do we need it exactly? Maybe if we will stay like three of us, for example, or four of us in the same situation, but will earn more profit for the startup without investor and without obligations, it will be better. And everyone's saying, yeah. Oh, they are always saying, yeah, of course. Come on. So
Yeah.
we always thinking about this like 3 4 times, maybe spend more times on being together and thinking about creative solutions within the limitations, instead of like uh, breaking up the walls and trying to uh, like pick any money that people are like giving to us. So we were, yeah, we will find some money, but let's talk about our strategy. Let's talk about free priorities, and the main thing, like what startups are lacking. Uh, we will let's talk about focus. Like, what's the most important thing we should do right now? Does it need any money? No, we need to. We can make it, three of us. We can found another external free instrument for is for like to automate this for like for some kind of automation, make it more easy for us to do the tasks. So yeah, we were kind of bold on this, uh, on focus and on limitations.
I couldn't agree more with you. I couldn't agree more with you because, um, yes, we startups need money, to sustain, to thrive. However, it can be a blessing, or it can be a kind of liability, or maybe uh, kind of something which gives you that constant tension
Yeah,
of
attention, right?
bring out the profits and the returns and everything. And markets are volatile. Global conditions are absolutely unpredictable and volatile. So
Yeah, now
I
more than ever.
yeah, yeah, now more than ever. So I think it's certainly lots of things to learn from, how exactly you can mindfully handle, especially the financial, the economic aspects of running a startup, running a company. Uh, I think the most important thing is understanding what exactly is the priority, and does that priority need any external boost or uh, money, or maybe it can be solved internally. So thanks for sharing that, Oleg. And before we wrap up, if our listeners would like to connect with you and also explore more about tea travel, and also um, they would like to get a hold of your current book and then your upcoming book, Systemic Adaptiveness, the best way.
Yeah, the best way to connect with me is LinkedIn. So you can just search for my surname. I will be the only, I guess, with such surname around there. So yeah, and I'm talking about a lot of stuff on my LinkedIn, and the nearest updates will be also there. So it's the best way.
Brilliant, brilliant. I'll make sure to have the link in there, and all the details for our listeners. And Alex, thank you so much. This was really, really such a great conversation on navigating complexity, but with courage, and also turning adversity, uncertainty into innovation. This was really a glimpse into that masterclass. So I would urge all of our listeners to check out Tea Travel, and, keep an eye out on Alex's upcoming book, and also connect with him on LinkedIn. And thank you so much once again, Alexander.
Thank you, Sana. It was a pleasure for me. Thanks.
So, to all of the BizBlend listeners, if you are building something bold or leading through chaos, take this as your sign to trust your system, not just your strategy. Until next time, keep blending boldness with balance. This is your host, Sana, signing off. Thank you.